Oh my god, I have messed up big time.
Our hob and our kitchen sink have turned up, so
Well, we just didn't have the mental energy, did we?
we
To
did
deal
not
with
have
anything.
the mental energy to try and fix anything.
I'm Cheska, this is Ben, and this is our little hitchhiker River. We've spent the last year travelling Europe in our self-built sprinter van Sophia, but new horizons are calling. In 2021, we'll be driving all the way to Cape Town, South Africa. Before we go, we're making some upgrades to Sophia to get her ready for those African roads. Subscribe and join us for the ride.
Good morning everyone, and welcome back to yet another week on the van build. I just want to quickly say a big thank you to everybody that has been watching the van build and commenting every week. Just messages of encouragement and support. We've definitely been feeling the effects of doing it in the winter, in the cold, in the dark, and it's honestly meant the world to just have your messages to read through at the end of the week. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who is sticking with us and who is coming along with us on this part of the journey. It really, really does mean a lot to us. I'm hoping to get the tiles finished this week. I've got my precision craft knife kit to help me cut a little bit smoother and a little bit neater. So fingers crossed these work. I don't take my fingers off in the process. What's your plan this week then, babe?
Well, I got to the stage now where there's like 1,000,001
Little
jobs to do, like finishing off, tidying up bits and stuff. Because before it was really easy, like build this frame, build that frame, build that frame, do the tanks. Whereas now, to do this, I need to do the electrics, but I need to do the wiring for the fridge and everything to come up this way before I can do that bit and then that bit. So, I am building the table saw that I treated myself to, or that I treated us to. Such a romantic. So I can cut some nice, proper square cuts rather than using like the jigsaw or the circular saw. Just make it nice and straight for like the cupboard doors and the seat tops and things like that. So.
Oh my god, I have messed up big time on the tiles, and I'm gonna have to redo them, and I'm gonna have to try and get them off as gently as I can. Let me show you. So as you can see here, if I marry these two bits up, this is gonna end up being cut off because this is not part of the pattern. So basically this bit I have cut off here stupidly. There, does that make sense? I've cut these two noggins off, and those two noggins are gonna go in there. And there is just no way of getting that to, I tried cutting them off and sticking them on, but obviously you can just see straight down there, so it just is gonna look, and it's right in the middle of of where you see it, and it is just not gonna look very good at all. So it is peeling off a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is get a Stanley knife and just very finely break the glue seal on it, and fingers crossed they'll come off. But yeah, not very happy with myself today.
Could be worse. Not sure how, but it could be worse. I've got a bit bad heartburn actually.
Not my heartburn.
I don't know what it is, but yeah.
After I found out that the tiles needed taken off yesterday, it was just a spiral of things going wrong, wasn't it?
Anything that could go wrong just did. Cutting, measuring.
The table saw
didn't work. And we both realised
well, we just didn't have the mental energy, did we?
we
to
did
deal
not
with
have
anything.
the mental energy to try and fix anything. And we realised we were absolutely shattered, basically.
I think we're just feeling the effects of, like, you summed it up really well this morning.
Oh, what did I say?
You were like, we've just been doing the same thing day in, day out for the past 2 months.
Yeah, it's
Even
been
like walking River, because of lockdown, we can't take her out for like long walks into the Peak District or anything, and we can't go and see anybody. It's kind of just like,
it's been
I think
monotonous,
it's
isn't it? Yes, we've spent 3 to 4 days every week doing the van, or doing bits for the van. On top of that, we've got our own business we're running and trying to, we've got to keep that working whilst we're doing this, and with the pandemic and everything. On top of that, we've got River to look after, obviously.
videos to edit.
YouTube as well. So we've got YouTube, the van build, our own business,
It's just
River, ourselves. And I think we just got to the point yesterday where we were just exhausted with it all. So I think now we've got to the point where there's so many bits we need to do. I'm back again. That it just got I think a bit overwhelming. So we cut the day short yesterday after the tile incident and the table saw incident. Then right, let's stop. Let's do one bit at a time, not overwhelm ourselves, and just get back into enjoying it. Because this week's been last week was a bit of a slog as well, I think.
Yeah, I think as well, it's really difficult when you're feeling tired and exhausted and you're snappy with each other. It's hard to pick up the camera, isn't it, and get that across. But
yeah, exactly.
It's not every day that we're dancing and having fun like it is. We are tired at the minute, aren't we? And that's the reality.
Yeah, I mean, we get up at 6:30 every morning, take River, come here, go back in the afternoon, work, eat. By the time we finish, walk River again, and by the time we finish and actually finally sit down, you're talking 10, half 10, and it's just too long a day to do it constantly. But no, not going to let it affect us. So we're just going to do small bits at a time this week.
Yeah.
Get through this week. River has to go to the vets tomorrow, unfortunately.
Yes.
We've noticed that when River tries to run off in a sort of direction really quickly, or if she's facing us, we throw the ball. Ooh, careful, sweet pea. And we throw the ball that way to turn in her run. She doesn't really use her back legs very well. She kind of pulls herself to her front, and then when her back legs catch up, she'll go. So we took her to the vets yesterday. I'm a bit concerned she might have early hip dysplasia. So yeah, we saw the vets last night. She's booked in tomorrow, so she won't be here tomorrow with us. To have an X-ray, aren't you?
We took her to the vets yesterday, and she had an orthopaedic exam, and everything seemed fine. But he said obviously an X-ray would give us more detail. So hopefully.
So she's going in tomorrow to have anaesthetic, an X-ray, and then just to check her back joints. She's not in any discomfort or any pain. In fact, she's just as playful as ever. But if it is something like hip dysplasia, we want to catch it quickly. If she needs to have any corrective surgery or physio or anything, then at least we can do it now and everything. So we won't be seeing River tomorrow. So please wish her luck, guys. Just so it comes out past here, so I reckon we put another batten on there. I think another thing that pushed me over the edge yesterday is that the ply I bought was it was like a boomerang. It was ridiculous. There, if you can see that, yeah, that's flat there. That's ridiculous. It's my fault. I should have checked it. I didn't. I was in a rush in Wickes and just grabbed it. So tip: always check that your wood doesn't look like a boomerang. I love this little saw. I thought it was going to be really naff, but it's actually been one of the best tools. It's just a little Erbauer, is that how you pronounce it? Circular saw, rather than... I've got a massive circular saw, but it's an absolute beast, and it needs a nicer blade because it just tears through. But that's really handy, and it's really good, and it actually cuts straight, unlike the table saw. The problem we had is that we want two lids to get into the storage under the chair, so like one there and one down there. Now the problem is we've got our bracket here for the magnets on the side of the door, and we've got our obviously the door hinge. Now let me show you. When I close the door, that just misses because we built it like that. However, I completely forgot we're obviously gonna have my hands wet, the lid on top. Which now, so what we decided to do is just fix two bits of ply to the back, which aren't the lids, because also if the lid was here, it catches on here, so it would, it only goes like that. So what we've decided to do is fix these two bits, we'll fix this bit just here so that never moves, and what we're going to do is I'll follow the curve of the hinge, and I'll just cut that off with the jigsaw, and then that'll always be exposed. So this is what was stressing me out yesterday. It looks so, it's, when I look at it now, when you step away from it, you're like, oh, That's a really. Why didn't you just think of that then? But you know when you're just like right in that non-zone,
You just haven't got the
can't
mental energy, have you, to
think
deal with it?
of everything. You got like a million and one things in your mind, but you just couldn't sift through to the correct answer. So we've got these, I want to say hustle hinges. They're not called hustle hinges. I can't remember what they're called. I think it begins with H. Anyway, so that sits into the cabinet. So that sits on the cabinet batten. Then the door will sit there, I think. And then when you open them, like that. But I don't know how to fit them. Never used them before.
So we're literally running back and forth between the YouTube video of how to fit the hinges and then actually fitting them onto the cupboard door. The video we're watching is by a guy called Bo Chuan or something, and it's really, really useful. If you're interested, I'll put a link to it in the description.
Don't copy us.
Yeah, don't copy us, we haven't got a clue what we're doing.
So that side goes on the door. Okay, yep.
Just double check.
This is a face. If you saw my face yesterday, well, you did see my face yesterday, it was like... Today, it's like this because, oh my god, I actually did it first time. Look, this was basically just a rough cut, but they're fitted. And, you know, the only problem is, they don't sit quite flush because the batten we've got there is at a slight angle. In fact, it's at that exact angle. So, but that's fine because by the time I put the clip on, 2 magnets, that will hold. That's like not going anywhere. Even though I said I had a burnt out week, it's one of the most productive days we've had in a long time.
It's been a day of small wins. I actually managed to get quite a bit done, which was surprising.
Small wins equals a big win for a day.
Yeah, still feeling tired though. Are we gonna
Yeah. So I think we'll head back. What time is it? It's 3:15.
head back? We need to take River for a walk, get some fresh air, and then just chill, I think, and make sure that we're not
Yes.
go all the time. Let's get going, River. The camera wasn't rolling, but this is why I don't drive with Ben very often. Because he is the worst backseat driver. He's just already told me, we've been in the car for about 2 minutes, and he's already told me about 5 times things I'm doing wrong or should do differently.
It's not things that she's doing wrong, it's just pointers in order to...
I don't need pointers from you. I can drive. You having fun?
Here, sit. Good girl. Go on then. Go. Somebody is bursting for a wee.
I can't do it because I'm going to get my...
Babe, there's no one around, go for it. This is a problem I don't have. Feel better?
Great success.
Hello.
I really thought you were gonna
I
then.
thought I was a goner then as well. So what was a nice surprise today was that when we got back from the unit, our hob and our kitchen sink have turned up. So that is awesome. So we've gone for the 2-ring gas burner. And if I'm honest, I can't remember what sink we've gone for, but
This is Thetford. It's a Thetford 2. The Thetford, what is it?
I don't know.
Thetford 2-burner hob, and then the Thetford Argent sink.
So it's definitely a Thetford.
Is that a pheasant? River!
God. Let's hope it's not pheasant for dinner. Oh, thank God for that. Go on then, lie down.
Come on, let's do it.
We're in. Let there be lights. There we go.
River's not here. She's went to the vets this morning. You took her down, didn't you?
Took her
About
down this morning, 8 o'clock. Yeah.
She is having her x-ray today, so keep your fingers crossed for her. I'm sure she'll be fine. God, it's like winter is back with a vengeance.
It's cold this morning.
It's like, where has spring gone? It's freezing.
This is what I've been working on this morning. Have our seats. Hooray. This was a little bit too. Just need to sand that one down a bit. So these are our seat tops. Not finished, but they're just put in situ for the moment. This one's a bit tight because I need to sand that bit off. Open up like that. Voila! So what we're going to do is on this one, and this one, we're going to cut out big, what would you call them? Rectangles, say? Let's say rectangles. Out here, here. One, holes just to reduce weight and let nice airflow in. This one is going to stay solid because under here, this is where our electrics go, our batteries and our connections, as well as everything up there. So that will stay as it is, but just painted nicely. So the reason I put this little trim around is because the screws that come with these hinges are, I want to say 15 mil. The ply is 12 mil. So they were just coming straight through. So we've just put a 5 mil edging around. Makes it look a little bit nicer as well. And there, secure nice and tightly.
Amazing. Such a good job on those, babe. They look so nice.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to build these to here. Chess is going to make a start on trying to get those tiles off and, I don't know, correcting or putting them on properly this time.
You pulled the plug on me. I was gonna rip my heart into for you, but you won't let me.
Probably just need to sand a little bit off the edge. Oh, awesome! I'm chuffed with that. Just needs just a little bit of a sand on the edge, and then that's fine. Oh, I can do that when we take them off the paint and everything.
So as you can see, I've started to do the soul destroying task of peeling off these tiles. They're coming off all right actually. What I'm doing is I'll just try and show you. So all I'm doing is just there, and then as you can see where the glue is, just kind of running like this to try and break the seal, and it feels like skinning a bloody animal. And then some bits of it will just come, oh shit, that's okay.
Oh great, here we go. Sorry.
Well, I'd like to keep this bit okay, but yeah. And I think we should just give this a sand down.
Yes.
Get rid of some of the excess glue, but it is coming away pretty clean, which is nice. If, like I said, a little soul destroying. There we go. Tiles are off.
That's it, done.
Looks amazing.
Right, I'm really pleased with that.
That looks so good, babe.
Just do those end little bits. I think the plan now is let's call it quits. Let's pack up. Let's go and have some food, and then we will go and head down and pick River up at 5:20.
Cool.
How's that sound?
Good.
River has got the all clear.
Oh,
hello. River has
right on
got
cue.
the all clear from the vets.
Yep.
She hasn't got, as far as we can tell at the minute anyway, hip dysplasia. They reckon that the kicking out of her back legs and she's like dragging them a little bit just might have been that she's hurt herself, or
Yeah, so it's just compensating, isn't it? She reckons. So
yeah. So we're just not doing any like high intensity exercise. So no like big ball throwing and getting her to run around quickly, and just kind of, you know, giving her body time to rest if it is sore.
Yeah, so just long walks. Nothing too high, nothing too intense, is it? So,
yeah.
So she is as good as ever, isn't
Yeah,
she?
which is awesome, bless her.
She's just over there chewing on a ball, so she's happy as Larry.
Thank you for joining us this week, guys. Some weeks you're flying, other weeks it's just a case of putting one foot in front of the other. Please give the video a thumbs up to keep us going, and feel free to subscribe if you're new. Love you guys. See you next week.
Open.
Jess, we're not racing anyone.
I'm not racing, I'm doing 20 miles an hour.
I'm not leaning into
I'm
this
doing
for fun.
20 miles an hour on a motorway roundabout.
Oh, that's close.
Just stick inside, so work it out, stick it out, work it out.